What's up, everyone? This is King Crypto. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the markets, and I'm going to be talking about IoT Chain or IoT Chain, which is kind of like China, the iota of China. So today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to pay you guys $50, or whoever's the lucky winner today. The lucky winner is John Bertone. What do you think of Kraken.com? I have registered to Kraken, but I don't use it. It seems a little buggy to me and just haven't really used it. But sorry, can't really give you much info. I like to use Coinbase personally, or Binance, despite the hacks. And you know what? The way the CEO of Binance handled that hack, he was able to shut it down immediately, save the money. That's the kind of professionalism you want. So, alright, this is for you, buddy. Don't spend it all in one place. Remember, guys, if anything in this video is something that maybe you learned from me, or if I added value to what you understand about cryptocurrencies, please subscribe to this channel so I can get the message out to so many more people. And also, looks like my sponsorship, True Reply, is on these ads now, and that's pretty cool. So, as you probably know by now, if you pay 0.5 Ethereum worth of True Coins under my referral link, you have the opportunity to win 10,000 extra coins from now to the 15th. So I'd suggest to get on to that, and it's an easy way to win 10,000 coins that could potentially be worth a lot in the future. So, alright guys, so let's look at the markets a little bit. Looks like Bitcoin and the rest of the currencies are doing a little bit better now. It took a real hard hit within the last 2 days, and it sucked with all the news coming out about Binance hack with the SEC. But the cycle you got to realize about Bitcoin and all these things is it passes and then it just recovers. You hear bad news, okay, pull your money out. When you hear good news, you put it back in. If you can just understand that either thing you do, it's going to go back up, unless there's horrible news, then, this is a cycle. And I see this all the time. I've been in this game long enough to know that you cannot get all upset when you hear bad news. And it will pile onto each other like it did the last 2 days. But things are starting to calm down a little bit, and I don't see there being any reason to be worried. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm not worried right now. So that's all. So today we're going to talk about IoT Chain. Now, IoT Chain seems to be a pretty cool website. Well, the actual currency they're using seems to be revolutionary. And it's about the Internet of Things. So what is the Internet of Things? What does that mean? So the Internet of Things is kind of like smart computers, smart cars, smart refrigerators, things that can automate themselves. Kind of like augmenting, just as our technology, we're becoming augmented to it. The more this happens, the more demand for Internet of Things kind of applications to facilitate that. And that is where IoT Chain comes into play. Now, the argument with the blockchain that makes this pretty much impossible is that scalability lacks. It lacks greatly when it comes to speed and it comes to fees. It can be a little drawn out. Now with IoT Chain and IOTA also, they have the vision to make 100,000 transactions per second, which is exactly what you want it to be. That's a really good marker if you want to be taken seriously, and that's one of their goals. And this is coming out soon. Well, the actual implementation of this and use cases we'll start to see more and more as the time goes by. So let's talk a little bit about IoT Chain. It is essentially the iota of China. So it's based in China. And if you want to get a good overview, look guys, I don't care what you say. I'm not a financial advisor. So I go on Reddit. I learn a lot from Reddit. I'm not going to lie to you guys. There's people really passionate on Reddit, and they give me really good information. And I actually would suggest you use it as a source, not your only one, but use it and take it with a grain of salt. But some people really do prove their worth by explaining, and this guy, for example, has allowed us to see many of the articles where he's getting this information. So that's a good step. So essentially, the China market for Internet of Things is a pretty big market, and it's going to grow into a $1 trillion market, or it's speculated to be $1 trillion, and I can see that happening for sure. We all know what's happening. We all know what the future will entail in the next 10 years at least. Smarter cars for sure. We're already seeing that with Tesla. 10 years, I imagine that Tesla cars and more cars like it will depend on Internet of Things to be able to do even more functions. Maybe get to a point where our cars can drive us like almost like a taxi by itself wherever we have to go, and then that car goes to the next person, and then maybe you pay them in a cryptocurrency payment. That's kind of the future. And look up Andreas Monopoulos and Antonopoulos, sorry. He talks a lot about what he envisions the future of the blockchain entailing. So that's what is projected to happen, but it's hard for this to happen without something facilitating it that makes it easier. So IoT Chain comes into play here. It's not exactly a blockchain. It's a hybrid combining the blockchain with their own protocol called directed acyclic graph subnets. So this gives them the ability to scale 1,000 to 10,000 transactions per second. So I might have said 100,000, but that's what their goal is. They want to scale up to 100,000 at one point, and looks like they're ahead of schedule at the moment. And in second quarter of 2018, they're going to release in April with their mainnet feature. So you can see Bitcoin and Ethereum are capable of 4 to 15 transactions per second, give or take, and that's always been an issue for Bitcoin, and maybe not so much Ethereum. I've never had problems with speed with Ethereum, but I've always had it with Bitcoin. I can't tell you how many times it has taken me hours to get my payment, and that's not convenient because the price of Bitcoin could really dramatically change, and that's not something that you want to be waiting if you want to sell some of it. So both IoT and IOTA are new projects with really grandiose visions, but I believe that what makes IoT Chain maybe a little bit more valuable maybe is that it is in China, and China will have the largest market cap for these kind of applications. So geography-wise, they have more opportunities to use their currency to the advantage of China. And as well as that, IOTA doesn't really work right now, and it's not really being used. They're working to get it to that point, and it is just one of those things where it could be worth 100x what it is by in a year or two, or it could be nothing. Just because IOTA doesn't really, there's been plenty of issues with people trying to send IOTA to certain wallets and it doesn't work, so on and so forth. These problems are really shrouded in testimonies if you look at it online. So IoT is only worth $1 right now, and there are only 48 million in supply, and IOTA has let's find out. IOTA has a crazy amount of coins, I believe. Yeah, 2.78 billion coins. So IOTA is at $1, but 2.78 billion is a lot. That means, for that to be $1, it's a lot harder for IOTA to be $1 than IoT Chain. So all IoT Chain has to do, and it's easier said than done, but if they can implement this network better than IOTA and have more use cases for it, the price of this will really go high. Because even think of think of Litecoin, right? A Litecoin supply is I think it's like 80. Okay, it's 55 million, and it's worth $191 at the moment. So you can imagine that IoT chain, it could very well get to that point as well, as long as they can implement the things they're supposed to. And granted, you count all the factors of how people respond to mainstream adoption. So it's not impossible, and I think crypto proves to us that anything is possible. This may be looked at as an insane steal in the future. I don't know. I haven't invested in IoT Chain, so I just found it to be kind of an interesting project that could be very, very valuable in the future if they can get their stuff together. Now, IOTA does have a pretty big leg up on IoT Chain because they are a partner with Volkswagen, and their partnerships are growing, expanding, and they're way more popular than IoT Chain. But that doesn't change the fact that IoT Chain has an opportunity. I don't know, maybe to surpass it, but I think it'd be a really fierce competition to IOTA. And that's why I want to talk about it today. I think it's a really interesting subject matter. The Internet of Things it's definitely interesting to me. I don't really know, I haven't really researched enough to give you guys a better description of the Internet of Things from like a computer science standpoint. But I do like where they're headed, and since I am a crypto channel, I always want to let you guys know what I'm thinking about and what I find to be useful. So that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a strong like, and subscribe to me, please. That would be absolutely wonderful. My Telegram is almost at 1,000, guys. I know you can do it. Make this the video where it's at 1,000, because after that it's closed. It is closed, and from then on people are going to have to pay. Also, I'm going to create another Telegram group that we'll just be able to chat back and forth. So if you guys have questions, I can answer them, and maybe I can get some of my associates to answer these questions as well. So the whole Telegram thing I'm really excited for. I think it's going to be a massive success, and I mean, if it's any success like how I've done in crypto, then yeah, I think it'll be good. So yeah, guys, that's all I gotta say tonight. Have a great day. This is King Crypto. Let's get cryptical.